For this level, that winning move should not be challenging.
It needs to be
That's
found.
it
Yeah, given the
really
match
needs to be
situation.
found.
Oh my goodness. This match is just it's a really tough one for Ding because he's had his moments, and Hans is a pretty animated person on camera as well. So you can usually visually tell when he knows he's kind of gotten away with something, and he knew that he got away with something in that last game. We all did, and Ding just has to go back and refocus. I will say, Eric, he's actually doing something that I wouldn't have expected. He was playing that French position, and he's actually using the narrative of the match maybe against Hans. Hans is overpressing in some situations. It's probably not advised to do so. Now the problem is that it ends up somehow still working for Hans in the end, because now Ding needs to basically punish that behavior. He needs to be getting those wins, and he's not. So I mean, it's just the conversion that needs to change.
It's very tough psychologically in Ding's shoes because at a certain point, you just start thinking no matter what you're doing, something's going wrong. Like you get the winning positions and you're finding ways to mess up. I will say the position we have in front of us, it's like vintage Ding. Before he was world champion, even before he was a very, very top player, he was one of the best King's Indian players in the world. You look, if you're interested in classical chess, you should look at the games from the Chinese championships around the year 2000, maybe 2009, 2011, he would win the Chinese championships playing the King's Indian. As white, even though he has had good positions as white, he's choosing to play a King's Indian structure. That gives black a comfortable position. So Hans is probably not at all unhappy to be given this opportunity. But Ding used to play this for a win. He used to play the King's Indian. He used to have really, really nice games there. And at least you know it's going to be a sharp and balanced position.
Yep, and he's got that here. I mean, the whole King's Indian ethos, right, is pawn f4 and almost pawn f5. Like everyone knows, you just get the pawns going. G4, G5 is on the cards. I'm also looking at knight c4 and maybe pawn a5. This is a sort of switching the sides and playing knight c4, pawn a5, and bishop d2 to secure the queen side. So there's no counterplay. Maybe an opportunity missed, but Ding is going for the more direct and just, I mean, this is what the fans want to see, Eric. G4 and G5.
Oh, this is great. When I saw the King's Indian, I had to say, like, if Ding's playing that goes back 15 years, but he's got to change something up. And a King's Indian win, if he can pull it off, that's a huge confidence booster. That's Hans is going for c4. Typically in the King's Indian, yes. This is a reverse King's Indian. It's typically played by black. Ding is playing it as white. You gain space on the king side. Black counterplay on the queen side. Who gets there first? c4. White's mainly focused on checkmating. Bring the queen to h5, playing something like g6. If white starts being distracted, takes pawns on c4, it's usually not the game plan. Black would probably use that c-file, even at the cost of a pawn, but would open up lines. And what black would love to do is get access to c2, put pressure on d3. Ding's taking it, which is probably critical. But, see, look at this. Very sharp.
Yeah, this is exactly what Ding was hoping for. But the problem is, I don't think he should have.
Why is he hoping for this?
Well, this is what he calculated, right? C3, D3, he's winning a pawn. But the problem is, why is he playing on this side of the board? We wanted to see that king side attack.
All the time invested pushing these pawns, if the play remains on the queen side, favors black. Why did white spend so much energy? And now I'm on queen b3 is the type of move you play as black. Get the queens off the board. Knight b3 is also good. Yes, white is up a pawn, but that c4 pawn is really weak. The g2 bishop in some endgames is not happy. It's stuck behind its own pawn. And that space advantage, again, on the king side is fairly useless if you can't bring your pieces out. And look at this position. Most of Ding's pieces are on the back rank. That's not how you checkmate someone. And look at that. Knight takes c1, hits the queen with tempo. You can trade everything. but you end up down a piece once you calculate all of that. Bishop takes b6, knight takes c2, and we have some trades here, and that'd be 3 pieces to 2.
Yeah, and the knight on c2, you could, first of all, this is a miss. You could maybe make some argument that the knight on c2 is almost trapped there. So we might see that line actually get played out because rook takes on a1, bishop c5 honestly doesn't look much better. So maybe you try bishop b6, bishop takes d8 here. But Eric, this is just a stone cold miss from Ding. You saw head in his hands. I mean, his level is just not what it needs to be in this match right now, and Hans is taking full advantage.
For sure. I mean, maybe Ding played the King's Indian because he was tilted, but look at the quality of the pieces here. This is not what you expect from Ding. Bishop, he's putting his pieces back on their starting squares, and the sad thing is that might be the best practical chance because you can't trade everything off. You're down in exchange. And if you lose the dark squared bishops, b2 becomes very weak. Hans is just playing professionally here, doubling on the d file, queen and bishop, putting pressure here, putting pressure on the diagonal. Ding cannot move his pieces. And now rook d3 is coming.
And you can't stop the invasion of all the pieces. Bishop e2 to stop rook d3 runs into eventually queen b7. And yeah, we're going to see bishop g1. I'm expecting, bishop to e3 being played because this is going to give access to the d2
He's
square.
calculating rook d2 and queen f2, but the king might have an escape path to g4. But it's worth calculating rook d2 check. Just, taking away queen covering f2. But I think the king survives on g4. It's not necessary. There's a lot of ways for Hans to win here.
Yeah, not necessary is probably the best way to describe it. Bishop e3 is easy, but I have to say, you got 2 minutes, or 3 minutes basically. I think objectively rook d2 followed by queen f2 is probably correct.
He's played it. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to go for it.
Problem is everything is winning there. As Hans calculated this, bishop f2. He has calculated it all.
Very, very nice.
Can't move anywhere. The queen takes h4's mate. You can play bishop f4, but I'll just take it. It only temporarily stops things.
I always applaud
the kill. Nice finish.
I always applaud players that really take the time to play the absolute correct move in situations like that. If anything wins, but you're still looking for the best move and you want to put the game away in 2 to 3 moves rather than play a very good move and win later. I mean, look at the efficiency and how